Scroll down just a little bit. So, welcome to the Utah Outcast Secret Patron Show. I, for one, am happy to have you guys joining us. And if you're reading this, or I'm sorry, not reading this. If you're hearing this or seeing this, you're not reading this because I'm reading this. Then you're a serious supporter, or just a guy who waited a long time to get to this. Regardless, we're glad to have you. And you know the spiel. I don't want to give you guys the script every time. I've brought pain to the panel tonight, but I've saved the worst for the last. And I don't know. It's late. I mean, it's not late as we normally get on this thing, but. Kyle's had a long week, and I've had technical issues tonight, and I'm just wondering how I'm going to fucking edit all this stuff. Ugh, man. It's probably not going to be that bad. I'll start working on it tomorrow with a drink in hand and get done with it relatively quickly. So the one that I saved for you guys this week is we were talking about Glenn Beck this episode, and you know how the fact that he's a Mormon, and apparently he says that he must have been in town for him to say this, otherwise it would have hit national news and everybody would have lost their fucking minds. Mormons must save America because evangelicals aren't. So let's hear what he has to say there.
Let me testify to you now. The Book of Mormon is a book that was given to us for this time in this land. And it explains exactly what it's going to look like when trouble comes.
First of all, it wasn't given to anybody. It was read from a hat. No, it wasn't even that. It was a guy that would study up a chapter before going to bed at night and read it off to somebody after he quoted more fucking Old Testament shit and just changed names.
Some dude made shit up.
He ripped it off of another book that was popular at the time, and he
several books.
He whole cloth stole passages straight out of Old Testament. But they wouldn't see that as someone's plagiarizing. They'd be like, no, it's concurrent. Look at it, it's wonderful. It matches up with the stuff from then. Like, no, it matches up with
that's not how it works.
It matches up with errors from that Bible at the time, dummies.
And written in Old English, King James Version.
17th century Old English, and thous, thines, and those. And
that was High Egyptian.
No, it's Reformed.
Reformed.
Oh, Reformed Egyptian. Sorry.
Did you guys ever... I was looking into some of the wacko shit that was happening when the Mormons finally came to Utah. Did you ever see how big the territory they staked out for what they wanted to take? It was like the majority of the West Coast, man. It was like pretty much all of it.
Yeah, it was like half of what is currently Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho,
Montana,
and Nevada.
Yeah. And it was
stretched up into Montana.
Huge amount of fucking land that they thought they would just, this is ours now.
This is ours.
Thankfully, they got it finally chiseled down to this state that we choose to live in. Yes, we do choose to live here. This is a great place to live. But they're so misinformed about their own holy books and everything. And it's like, it's going to show us exactly what trouble's going to look like coming up. Like, oh, it's going to look like a black guy? Because that's what your book is talking about with Lamanites and everything. So, my kid went to school this week dressed as like an Egyptian. I'm sure you saw it, Kyle. Or I'm sure Landon saw it too. But, like, there were kids that came to school, and I could tell, like, they just took the costumes that they used for their Lamanite plays and shit like that and church stuff. Now, for those not know what we're talking about, when the tribe of Israel came to the Americas and they split up, one of them got dark skin because they didn't believe God anymore, and the other ones didn't, and they were the good, whitesome, and delightsome people.
Oh, just Google it. We don't want to go through it.
So now you know, and that's half the battle, all that other fun shit. The other half is red lasers and blue lasers. So let's let Glenn to say some more dumb.
And I don't know about you, but I can put new names against old names in the stories, and it all works.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I could put new names against old names, and it works? What the fuck does that mean? Kyle, you're the Mormon here.
It means...
Well, me too.
Landon too? Okay.
It means you can take a story and replace the names, and it's the same story.
No.
I think he's trying to say that the moral value of the stories are still there, which
See,
there really isn't much moral value in it at all.
No,
in fact, it's a really bad story. I mean, it starts off with some dude getting his head chopped off for no reason.
That book actually sounds pretty fucking metal, man. I should probably read it again.
Oh yeah, there's one of my favorite passages because like I was forced to read with the family and have read the book I don't know a dozen times.
Oh no!
Oh jeez.
Growing up, yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't believe.
Yeah.
But one of the greatest bits is like one of the big epic battle scenes that he has in there because it's such a bloody book. The big bad guy gets his head chopped off and his body stands up and takes off running.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
like a chicken. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder if that came from like stories of the beheadings in France or something.
Oh, probably. I would almost
don't
guarantee
know.
it.
I don't know. I didn't even make it through that book. I couldn't do it.
I got to, I think, 2nd Nephi before I started falling asleep. Whichever one starts talking about the olive trees and having to prune parts of it and join it with others, and that's when it got really fucking boring for me. I was just like,
that's Jacob. If you want to go through it, listen to David Michael's My Book of Mormon podcast. That's the only way to do it because he turns it into a drinking game.
Sounds like Tucker.
Like every time it says the phrase "it came to pass,"
Drink.
Oh shit!
drink.
Oh shit! You die.
Well,
if
you
tried
can't.
to do if you tried to do it all in one sitting.
Oh yeah, you would be dead.
Well, I just love that, like, when you're reading the Book of Mormon, there's a part where he actually says adieu. Like, there's a French word in the fucking Book of Mormon, man. Like, oh, that's the word that came up because he was inspired by God to say that word like that. And I'm like, you guys are fucking dumb. You're dumb. You're just super dumb. And I've said that word a lot tonight.
Here's what I'm saying to you. The reason why I'm bringing this up, and I've been wanting to say this for a very long time.
Then say it.
Where the hell are the priesthood holders? Where are you? Thank you. It's time to stand up.
He must know his crowd. He must
Of
know.
course he
Yay,
knows his crowd.
patriarchy.
He's playing his crowd. He knows them.
Where's my priesthood holders? I need some oil rubbed on my junk. Where's my
That's supposed to
priesthood?
be the secret ceremony.
Was it like a 12-year-old that stood up or something? Or no, can you be? You're not a priesthood holder at 12, are you? I don't know how this shit works.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I don't know.
It doesn't work.
you
I mean,
get,
it just doesn't. But
The Aaronic priesthood, and then there's like different levels, and then at 16 you get an upgrade.
the
And
Melchizedek.
then at like 18, I think, you get the top upgrade or something.
That's when you max out your levels. Yeah.
You get to be top
Well,
for
I
once
think
instead
there's
of
like
bottom.
special bonus levels for the leadership.
I like my idea. You finally get up from the bottom. You get to be the top, and so you don't get fucked in the ass nearly as much as you used to. So it's a good way of putting it. You need
Like
to
your listeners
stand
heard.
up. You need to stand up. They're not going to
your
hear this one
listeners-
until near the end of September. Wow.
Yeah, that's true.
It's time to stand up. You know what time it is. The priesthood is supposed to rise up and restore the Constitution. Now is that time. Period.
And you're going to do it by voting for Cruz.
An evangelical.
He's stumping for Cruz, man. But it worked, though, because look how many fucking votes they got this week. It's just, man.
Yeah.
I really hope the sex scandal is real. Because that kind of thing, if it happened to Trump, that would increase his numbers. But since it's happening to Cruz, it's kind of fucking obliterate the guy.
Well, we all know he freaking cheated around on his other wives.
Well, yeah, he wanted to be in a teen tit flick with when he was a young man, and asking Rafael Cruz like, "What do you think about your son wanting to rule the world?" "Oh, gee, I hope not." Now your son's running for it, and all of a sudden you're having prophetic visions of God and getting on your knees for 2.5 days or whatever the hell they were talking about. Just fuck. These people, I don't You know, it's all bullshit. Everything they say is all bullshit when they're like, we spent 3.5 hours on our knees. No, you didn't. You were probably sitting around shooting the shit with the guy at the church, and he's like, hey, why don't you run for president? Maybe I should. Nobody likes me. I should run for president. That's the greatest thing I can do when people don't like me.
Oh, God. What did Joe Biden say about him?
I don't know. What did he say? Nothing?
No, it was oh, yeah, you gotta give him credit for he's giving hope to all the kids who ever said, I don't know if I could ever run for president. Nobody likes me.
Yeah, because I can't believe he's actually gaining traction. Just dumb. Not enough, but man.
Book of Mormon trusts in you.
The book is a book, man.
These times, and you will run to the truth. I come to you today.
I'm surprised he hasn't crossed his arms
to
and
give
started
you
praying.
this message. Utah has an incredible opportunity. So many Christians.
He sounds like a multi-level marketer.
Well, he is.
Throughout the South, the evangelicals are not listening to their God.
To their God. Isn't he the same one as yours?
Let us raise a standard in Utah. Let us do this one thing perfectly right.
This one thing perfectly right. Oh, man. I don't know how to digest shit like that. I really don't. I'm so glad that I am no longer a person of faith, a person that went to church at one point, and I was never like a full cloth believer kind of guy. I remember reading the holy books, and I'm like, even in Genesis, you're like, wait, how did they get to a town when they just literally were it? You know, there was nobody else around. How the fuck did Adam and Eve get to a town where there was people? Where did the other people come from? Wait, why did he create plants and then the sun when those plants have been dead? Man,
none of it works. None of it makes sense.
It's a 2002, actually older than 2000, because the Old Testament shit is stolen from other cultures anyway. So
yeah,
it's gross. Religion's gross. I'm glad I'm done with it, and I'm glad you guys are done with it, and hopefully anybody that's stumbling across this, hopefully you'll be done with it too. I don't know why you would have continued listening all the way to this point, but yeah, give it up. Give it up. You don't need that shit anymore. So that's a good time for us to call it quits. I'm tired. I'm ready to call it a night and get to work putting all this together. Anyway, thanks to Landon for coming out. Thanks for Kyle for coming out. And Anthony probably would have liked to have been here, but he couldn't have been because of all the fun shit that's happening in Moab, or wherever. But that's going to bring us to a close here. We'll catch you again next week with another Patron episode. Until then, have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Again.
Good.